Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at Thera. Thera is brought to you by L4 Studios and Mr. B Games. It's for 1 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, and games range anywhere from 60 to 120 minutes. In 1646 BC, the island of Thera was the site of a volcanic eruption, 100 times more powerful than Pompeii. This eruption coincided with the decline of the Minoan civilization and the rise of the Mycenaean civilization. Due to Thera's strategic location, the Mycenaean king decided that it's time to rebuild Thera, and has tasked you, one of his governors, with this responsibility. The governor who best rebuilds Thera to its prior glory will be victorious. Each player has a map of the island, where they will engage in trade, clear ash, generate resources, move those resources to building sites across the island, and construct economic and luxury buildings. The player with the most victory points at the end of the game is the winner. Victory points are earned by clearing ash and constructing buildings. You must get the needed resources to the desired building sites and then acquire the building plans. These plans are available to all from a common building tableau. So, should you build another quarry, or are you worried one of your competitors will take the temple that aligns with your strategy? Time is of the essence in Thera, so efficient planning and resource management are important to winning the day. And so, to rebuild Thera, you're going to have to be dealing in some raw materials. You're going to need cloth, you're going to need lumber, you're going to need water and stone. Thera is in part a role selection game. On your turn, you will select one of the 5 roles from the rondel. When you select a role, everyone gets to do something, but you get something extra special. The more blue discs or favor tokens on the role you select, the better your extra stuff gets. Let's take a look at the 5 main roles located on the rondel. Starting with the priestess, she prays for rain, bringing the life-giving resource to the island. The workers consume the water and produce resources. The planner moves those resources around Thera so they can be used for construction or trade. The builder uses those resources to construct buildings on undeveloped sites across the island, and the trader buys and sells resources at the port. There are 5 main phases to your turn. First, you will select a role on the rondel, placing the turn pawn. On the first turn, you'll have all 5 of these roles available. In subsequent turns, any role not chosen in the previous round will be available to choose. And on the very first turn of the game, also move the leftmost favor token on the time track to that chosen role. Phase 2, all players perform the global actions of that chosen role. Everything above the waterline. Every player, including the current player, will perform these actions. These roles will all vary greatly, but do play into all the things you need to do to rebuild Thera. Phase 3 is about buying and calculating favor. As the current player, you may spend any amount of your coins, placing coins on the roll as a reminder, adding the overall total favor. So the blue favor tokens and the money you added is the total number of favor points. Now, phase 4, the current player and only the current player gets to perform all the favored actions. Well, as long as you have the favor to pay for it. These are the actions below the waterline, and you can choose to do as many as you want, assuming again that you have enough favor points to do so. And finally, once you performed all global and favored actions, then discard the coins back to the supply. If you spent any to gain favor, that is, and the remaining favored discs are then redistributed clockwise around the rondel, dropping 1 at each location. There are some exceptions here, like the priestess. She always takes the leftmost favor token from the time track and places it on her track. The rest are then redistributed. Okay, so that's the basics of play. But let's take a closer look at the different roles. The priestess allows all players to activate their buildings with her icon, allowing all players to gain water resources. The favored actions allow for getting additional water resources or remove tokens from the time track and place them on the priestess. Now, since the priestess removes time track tokens, this may also trigger an event. The main event in the base game is to release the locks on building tiles, giving the players more options to build. The builder allows all players to build 1 building, and the ability to discard stone from your island. For each stone removed, you can clear ash from that tile or adjacent tiles. The favored actions give the player the ability to clear more ash or build another building. When you do build, you need to pay the cost in materials and in coin. This cost is in the upper left of the building blueprint tiles. Where you build is important. The resources needed must be present in the unbuilt space. Now let's take a look at this worker role. Again, all players in this global activation will activate their buildings with that role's icon. So these buildings in general are going to remove water and gain a stone. Now it's really the kind of 1-for-1 or multiple, but it really depends on the building. So based on which building this is, it will be varied in amounts and resource types. So these worker spots are key to getting the building blocks to your civilization. The favored actions allow you to activate a building multiple times or simply gain stone. The planner. When the players take the global actions of this role, you will be able to move 2 resources around the map. Movement is limited by the ash you still have in play, and this global action gives the ability to move additional 4 resources. The favored actions allow you to move additional resources or gain victory points, or you can reserve a building tile for later use. Typically, you will want to select a luxury building as they are the primary way to win the game. And finally, let's take a look at this trader role. The trader allows all players to activate their buildings with the trader icon, just like all the other roles, gaining coin or allowing you to buy and sell from your port. The favored actions give coin or, again, the ability to buy and sell resources at your port, or acquire additional resources like cloth and lumber. So the end of the game is triggered when the last time token is reached on the time track, or only 2 types of luxury buildings are left in the general supply. Then you will total up your victory points. Several ways to get points here, from buildings, ash tokens removed, and points from extra resources you have. Some buildings have in-game scoring as well, so whoever has the most VP victory points will be the ultimate builder of Thera. Alright folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here has been in prototype form, so keep a close eye on the campaign for any changes that still may occur. Now with that said, this is definitely a Euro style game, and I really like the rondel and how you can pick the different roles and use the different points to get those favored actions and so forth. But you know, it really is dependent on how you put the different blueprints together and how you move resources around on your island. You have to best utilize what you have and remove the ash from the volcanic explosion. So there's lots of neat, interesting aspects there and lots of strategy around which types of buildings you build and win. So folks, ultimately though, if this looks like something that would be of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it for me, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.